All right, guys. So it's been a while since I've had a chance to get back to the Dalton. So I'm working on it today. Finally got the car started back up again, and we noticed that it's not charging. Not really sure why. We did the 93 millimeter Denza alternator swap. So we're gonna check over the wiring. I know back then I didn't wire up the charge light. Technically, you don't need to wire up the charge light. What'll happen is that it actually won't charge at idle. It'll actually have to see a difference before it'll charge. I did add the external fuse box a while back. That's what all that smorgasbord of wiring over there is. As you can see, we're back to the 123 distributor. I do have the distributor put in 180 degrees out, so I just kind of cheated and then flipped the distributor around. So, or not the distributor, I flipped the plug wires around to get it there, but it runs like it did before. It's just not charging. So I'm gonna go through and check the wiring on it really quick. Maybe I forgot to hook it up when I added the new fuse box. I'm not really too sure. So we'll figure that out real quick, and then hopefully we'll get this thing started up again and then running like it's supposed to. And then we will start working on pulling the manifold back off, trying the other one. Alright, so figured out why the alternator wasn't charging. I guess I snipped a wire from the fuse box somehow for the charge wire. I got that hooked up. It was running kind of weird, had some popping out of the intake manifold. Not too sure why. I attribute it to the fact that I know that I'm 180 degrees out on the distributor, but I did move the wires around to compensate for that. And it was running all right. It wasn't running as good as when I first got it fired up, so I'm not really too sure why. I ended up killing the battery in the meantime, letting it run without realizing the alternator wasn't working, and then, subsequently starting it up. So we've got the battery charging right now. We got the alternator figured out. Going to get back to this one tomorrow. But yeah, battery died, laptop battery died, so everything's just getting charged. Jump box died. So I'm just charging everything up right now. I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to pull the plugs again. I'll rotate the motor to the top dead center once it's cooled down. I'll set the distributor correctly, take a look at the plugs, see how it's running, maybe clean them up again if they look bad, and then go from there. And hopefully we should be getting this thing fired up how it's supposed to be. So the goal is to get the car running good again as a baseline. So just get it running good. We're going to pull it all apart. We're going to set the other set of intakes that we have on that have been a long time coming, guys. I'm really sorry about that. So again, I need to get the car running so I can get all the variables out of the way. Once it runs good, then we'll pull the intake manifolds off, swap over to the dual throttles, and then stick it all back together and pray that we can get it to start. All right, pulled the plugs out. Actually doesn't look that bad. So you've definitely got some combustion on here, not as much as I'd like, but it definitely has combustion. So we'll go ahead and pull out the other ones and take a peek at them, see how they look. All right, hard to see down there, but we are at TDC. Hopefully we've got the cap situated, rotors pointing to cylinder number 1. So the firing order is 1342. So we will put the wires back on. Spark plugs look fine, so we're gonna throw those plugs back in. And then once the battery's charged up, hopefully we can get this thing fired up again. All right, so that is the right firing order, 1342. I'll double check it in the software to make sure the injectors are firing the exact same way. And then now we just wait. All right, so as you can see, it runs. It's got a hell of a vacuum leak somewhere. Not that I really care, since these are about to come off, but it is already together, so maybe I'll smoke test it real quick just to see. All right, so we got a little bit of leaking. It's hard to see on camera, but this one's leaking a little bit. This one's leaking a lot of bit. So that's just the front two. Let's try it again on the back, see what we get. All right, well, we're leaking from these guys, and we're definitely leaking from this gasket. So I guess we're gonna see how hard it is to pull the exhaust manifold off, but that's leaking pretty damn bad. And then these little screw hole things are leaking as well, so definitely found that. All right, so that's that.